Hi guys, welcome to the first part of my Learning Python series. I have decided to create this because of the great milestone this channel has reached. 100 subscribers means a lot to me, and I thank you all for your support, so I hope you enjoyed this series. In this series, I will teach you a lot about how to code in Python 3, as well as give you guys some challenges to solve. So let's start. The first thing that you will need is an IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment, and is what acts as your compiler and interpreter. In this case, I am using Visual Studio Code, but you can use any IDE that you want. For example, Idle or PyCharm. Before you go ahead and start programming in your IDE, it's important that you have Python installed. If you don't, then just go to python.org and download it for your operating system. Once you've done that, fire up your IDE and create a new .py file. As you can see, I've got one here. The first function that you're going to learn is the built-in print statement. So here I'm going to type print, and then hello world. And if I run this code now, either by clicking this green arrow over here or just pressing Ctrl and F5, you'll see that in our terminal, it prints out hello world. So now if we need to get an output from the program, we can use this print statement. Notice how I have put hello world in double quotes. This either needs to be in double quotes or single quotes, or else I'll get a syntax error. This is because hello world is of type string, but we'll get onto what that means later on in the series. It also has to be surrounded by these round brackets, and this is because print is a function, and functions in Python have to be followed by round brackets. If you're working with lots of lines of code and you get an error, Visual Studio actually tells you in which line and which file the error is. So say for example, I leave out this final double quote. When I run the program, it will give me a syntax error. It will also tell me the line and the file that the error is in. So we'll just go back and add that now. You can print out multiple lines of code by just simply copying and pasting this print statement like this. Now you see when I run this in the terminal, it prints out 3 hello worlds. Brilliant. Python can also act as a calculator and can carry out a huge number of calculations. Here's an example. If I type print, and then inside if I put 4 plus floor, and then I run this, you'll see that it will print 8. Python can also carry out multiplication and division. If I wanted to calculate 2 times 5, then I would type 2, and then I would put the asterisk symbol, and then 5. The asterisk symbol here is used to represent the x that we would normally use in multiplication. So in Python, the symbol for multiplication is an asterisk. So if we run that, you'll see that it prints 10. And if I wanted to divide 10 by 5, I can just write 10 and then the forward slash and then 5. So the forward slash here represents the division symbol and is the symbol for division in Python. When I run this, it should print 2, and you can see here it does. If I wanted to carry out multiple operations inside this print statement, for example 2 times 10 divided by 5, but I wanted the 2 and the 10 to be multiplied first, I would have to put the 2 and the 10 in brackets like this. So inside the print statement, I would have to put the 2 times 10 inside extra brackets, and then obviously I can divide that by 5. So here we go. This operation will be carried out first, followed by this one. Let's give that a run. And brilliant, we can see that the answer is 4. You may have noticed that when there is division involved in our calculations, Python prints the number out as decimal, whereas for other occasions it just prints a whole number. These decimal point numbers are called floating point numbers, and they're used to represent numbers that aren't whole numbers, or numbers that aren't integers. A float is always created when you divide two integers, which is what happened here and here, or when you run an operation on any two floats, or a float and an integer. Python is also able to carry out exponentiation, which is raising a number to another number. For example, 2 squared can be written in Python like this. We have to write print and then 2, and since we want to square it, we will have to raise it to 2, right? So we would have to put a double asterisk and then of course write 2. So double asterisk here is used to represent raising a number to another number. So just remember that. If we give this a run, you'll see that it will print 4. Exponentiation does not output a float, it outputs a integer, as these are two whole numbers. If we were to use floats in exponentiation, for example, if we wanted to find the square root of 9, we can do print 9 raised to, and then here we're going to have to carry out an operation 1 divided by 2. So that's 0.5. So we're raising 9 to 0.5. So you see that that's basically a square root. When we run it, it will print 3.0. This time, since there's a float involved, the result will be a float. We can also do floor division and find the remainder in Python. For example, if we wanted to see how many times 6 went into 20, we can use the floor division operator, which is 2 forward slashes, and then obviously our second number, and we should see now that it will output 3. There we go. So what floor division is basically the quotient. How many times 6 goes into 20? To work out the remainder of 20 divided by 6, we can do this. We can use the percent symbol, which represents the modulo operator, to find the remainder. So when we run this, it should print 2, because 6 goes into 23 times with a remainder of 2. Make sure to take note that when you are working with the modulo operator and floor division, Python outputs the results as an integer, not a float, even though there is division involved inside these operations. That is all there is for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I hope you learned a bit about how to carry out operations in Python. If this video gets a lot of likes or views, or if you guys comment that you want a second video, then I will follow up with one where we'll get into learning about strings and variables. Please like, share and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video when it arrives. Thanks you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.